Today we will discuss the reclamation of the saline and alkali soils. So previous presentation we discussed what is the saline soil and what is the alkali soil. That's after the in 2 days the discuss the reclamation of the saline alkali soil. Then there was the how to manage, how to the control the in the salinity in the soil. The different methods used, mechanical methods and the physical and chemical and biological methods. So first is the mechanical method used the reclamation of the saline alkali soil. The first the construction of embankment and prevent the drill and seawater leakage. Then land leveling and contour plantings, establish of drainage and networks. Also breaking the hard pan in the subsurface layer and pouring the other holes. Second is the hydrological method. This use of the water and the plus the dissolve the salt after flooded the condition from the field and salt dissolve after the flushing the these water out of the fields. The control is, and the second is the leaching. Leaching that is the very easy process of the flooded condition, the flooded from the fields and the salt dissolve and the leach down the ground surface. These are second. And drainage facility is drainage facility is same as like a flushing method. First is the more water is the spread in the field, and after the dissolve salt other drainage system and the remove the is all outward for the catchment areas. Next is the chemical use. Chemical use as amendments like gypsum or manure and different types of fertilizer is used for the reclamation of the soil, of the replacement of the ions, cations by the another cations. So physical method is the scraping of the soil. When these methods are useful for the controlling the saline soil reclamation. So first step is the scraping step. That means the surface accumulation of the salt is scraping by the different instrument using our hands. Collect, that means collect the surface of salts and accumulate and spread the out of the fields. So when the deep village and subsoil profiling inversions, that means conversion of the profile and the subsurface to upper surface and the converted release the downs and use the conditioner. Conditioner, what is the conditioner? Conditioner that means the refreshment or the soil as you it's like a sand, trench and ice, manure and synthetic polymers like PVC and PAMs UVC. That's used add in the soil, and soil will improve the structure of the soil and improve the well coverage like our manures add in the soil and increase water holding capacity in the soils. These are the physical methods, and the biological methods used like growing the forestry, increase the forestation. It does not grow the crops like the high pH and the high salt in the specific. What is the reason? The plants, some plants are resistant to the salts, and these are the growing the specific type of soils and region of the fields. When use of the manure, so is that means the manure as the decomposition or released acid and replacement of the something from the field. This use add in the manure more than more. And forestry as a use the leaf litters and at the leaf and add in the soil also improve the holding capacity and add in the soil matters. Green manure that means the decomposition like green manuring in different crops. If more leaves are slightly high content in the crops and add in decomposed in the soil, add and improve the structure of the soil. Selection of the salt restraining especially after afforestation. Afforestation that means growing there is like specific crops, like growing in the fixation in the nutrient in the environment. These are specific plant and grow high leaf litter in the plants natures. Then add the soils. These are the basic methods of the reclamation of the soil. Second is the these are the firstly is elaborate one by one. The first is the hydrological method. This is flushing. Flushing that means the salt. Salt like soluble salt can dissolve after the spread in the field water, and after the flush in the surface and the washing runoff on the collection of the soil in the fields. Second is the leaching. Leaching is the process of dissolving of the transporting of the soluble salt and downward movement of the water through the water. These are the required. This is the leaching of the two methods. First is the flooding method. Second is the sprinkler methods. Sprinkler method, that means the ruling flooding of the method required amount of the water removed from the salt is greater on the depth. But the sprinkler method two methods found the sufficient removing the salt of the layers is certificate amount the method of the rule, just like topography and character of soil, depth of the ground tables. And the second is the seepage. Seepage is the horizontal flow of the water channel is called this is seepage is defined as the but water loss from the irrigation channel and mainly due to the seepage that means high conversion of salt and spread in the field. This is the manage of the seepage and reclamation of the salt. Percolation, there is downward movement of the water and the situated with the nearly soil field is a response to gravity and add in the soils. So that will be the next is the infiltration. Infiltration is the entry of the water. Entry of the water, that means add of the add the water are moved to the upper surface to lower surface in the by the infiltration method. This is the found in the unsaturated condition. Same as the leaching, a downward movement nutrient downward from water, downward movement of the water through the nutrient and salt with the root zones is called the leaching. These are the movement of the water from the surface or surface or vertical movement or the horizontal movement. This is the process is only the movement of the water given the different scientists as the given the different terms using for the movement of the water. Next is the drainage. Drainage is the excess of the water, the removal of the excess of the water from the fields. So these are the excess with like that is charged by the flow of the water surface referred to the surface drainage and the internal surface drainage. The drainage, the different method are used for the discharge of the water like internal subsurface drainage and surface drainage. Surface drainage are used as in the open type channel make and the excess of water removed from the field, and subsurface given the internal ground in the spread in the pipes and we use the special excess of water from the field. That's a removal of the salt leached from the subsurface and out of the fields. That's the reclamation of the basic purpose. Second is the chemical procedure. Use as amendment or fertilizer or chemical elements are used for the reclamation of the soil. These are the role of that means these are fertilizer specific type in nature and improve the soil character. Like soluble of calcium salt. Calcium salt, that means calcium chloride, gypsum, as calcium. These are the salt application in the soil, replacement of the other type, like the sodium, the alkali soil replacement of the sodium by the calcium. These are the remove after the leach from the fields. Second is the when soil are saline and alkali in nature, these are the salt are accumulation but used as acidic fertilizer. When the replacement of the salt by these specific like sulfur they apply in the field or in the sulfuric acid, the high strongly acidic in nature, then apply in the field, react with the salts and replace of the salts by the these specific nature farming acidic farming fertilizers add in the response like lime, sulfur, aluminum borates. Calcium salt is low solubility, is the ground lime, and these are the apply in the field and improve the soils. Organic amendment. Organic amendment after like a FIM, compost, or gypsum, or vermi compost. These are the specific type of manure and amendment. These are the apply in the field after decomposition, release the acids, and the replacement of the resolve the salt in the soil and the moving the aggregation grades. It is like green manuring. Second is the green manuring. Green manuring is like a bench or any crops use the green manuring like suspensia and easily used for the green decomposed. These are the partly decomposed organic manure that after the add the decomposed manure, and these are the pH is the 4.4, and these are the different type of nutrient availability is like in the basic content of the 0.4 KNO3 and 0.3 calcium hydrox, calcium phosphoric acid and calcium sulfate, and these are the quantity of but these add and increase the acidity in soil and replacement of the salts. These are the specific nature. Second is management practices. How the selection. First is the reclamation use of the like management as like cropping patterns, irrigation patterns, different methods are used. First is the selection of the crop. The selection of crop based on these are the content and availability of the salt in the soil like salinity or alkalinity. this which type of soil, which type of soil are dominant in the soil, and which type of the मतलब resistant or crop growing in the field. These are the table. These the table are the show the different मतलब in the crop resistant from the salts in the field with growing. This more content like barley. Barley is more resistant in salts. Then second sugar beet, cotton, wheat, sorghum, soybean and rice, wheat, and vegetable crop like beet, tomato, cabbage, onion. These are the salt resistant crop. When the मतलब in the 10% and the 20 and 60%, these are the मतलब increase the yield or decrease. मतलब in the salt percent in the increase more than 10%, then the losses will be 12%. But and increase this same filtration increase the salt 25% more than and losses the barley grain yield मतलब in the 60%, but increase the salt more than 50%, then decrease the yield of the 80%. Same as the every crop has like 15 so in the these are the category of the tolerance, मतलब tolerance of the specific crop and growing the specific of the pH or मतलब the sodium percentage in the fields. Like when the 2 to 10 of the sodium content in the field मतलब very sensitive, when the growing the more soil resistant to soil, the growing the disease deciduous fruits, nuts and citrus and avocado. And second is the 10 to 1 the 20 sodium content percent and the sensitive and growing the beans. And second is 20 to 40 in the moderate tolerant, the growing the clover, oats, tall, focus and dalis and the grasses. Next is the 40 to 60% is the tolerant when the wheat, cotton, alfalfa and barley and the tomato fruits. Second is the more than 60% is the highly tolerant in the created grass and wheat. The grasses, these are the growing in the crops, and these are the specific variety. Specific variety that means the resistant to the salt resistant variety, like wheat as the Arnage, the Sonalika, Kalyan Sona, and J24. These are the salt resistant variety of wheat and paddy. And the growing the crops is a jar and the paddy is mustard and sunflower and the chickpeas. So it is the tillage. Tillage is the should be the practiced as the increase मतलब permeability of the soil मतलब more tillage and the dissolving the salts from the root zone and the increase the accumulation of the salt and sodium and the removal from the field. So layout making the better performance is the layout like accumulate the reach and the leveling of the creating the surface of the reach and the seed rating. That's like a high salt resistance, high salt availability in the fields, increase the seed rate and decrease the spacing of the crop and growing more than more. Then increase the fields. Second is the irrigation and drainage. When the salt are accumulated in the field, increases the water times of water application in the fields and the minimum like use the irrigation मतलब sprinkler food basin rich furrow method add applicable fertilizer. Second is the fertilizer is the high dose of the nitrogen phosphorus ratio in this specific type of field and increase the yield so much as rice barley. Addition of the micronutrients such as zinc ferrous and because this the deficiency in the specific type of condition that some nutrient in the specific type soil like saline decrease these are nutrients, then add the nutrient and balance the nutrient in the from fields and increase the yield. So condition is the saline soil condition is the urea, SSP as the calcium ammonium nitrate, while the sodium condition ammonium sulfate and dicalcium phosphate found in the more effective fertilizer after the increasing the yield of the fields. The highest sodium condition and the foliar application of urea only the effective economical method and the fertilizer saline the phosphate is not will be found. So these are the how to reclamation of the management of alkali soil. First is the all the replacement of saline, but these are the chemical. The only alkali soil is only the replacement of the chemical. They use the gypsum. What is the role of gypsum? Gypsum is the application in the field, like the attached with the gypsum is the clay complex, like and the sodium is the goes to the solution and the washing out and the fields tend to the consider the gypsum is the equivalent to the calcium is the 100 grams usually multiplied and the reclusion of the salt from the fields. So these are the different types of amendment and equivalent to the 1 ton of gypsum used for the reclusion of the ton, 1 ton and sulfur is the 0.19 and the sulfuric acid 0.57 and that means the gypsum is like 1 ton equivalent when they applied in the fields. It's like an effective of fertilizer when 1 ton apply of the gypsum reclamation of the 1 hectare fields. But and the same as a requirement of the sulfur. Sulfur is like a 0.91 ton has the equivalent to the 1 ton of the gypsum. Same as the and the sulfuric acid is the 0.57 is equivalent to the 1 ton of gypsum. The application of the replacement of the soil same as the 0.57 is the sulfuric acid application, because these are the high strongly acidic in nature. Then apply a replacement of the soil. These are the equivalent. The as a same doesn't matter. Then one person has the work the against the 5%. These are the equivalent to the 5% or same as the work. Second is the sulfur. Sulfur as the application in the field as like apply in the sulfuric acid is the presence of the water react with the and the oxygen, and after the biological oxidation is create the sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is strongly acidic and increase the acidity. After the these are the sulfuric acid and the react with the sodium carbonate, because the sodium carbonate or bicarbonate is the dominant in the alkali soil. The dominant cation is the, then react with the CO2. CO3 the replacement of the CO2 and the release H2O also the release, and we get the sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate are leachable type sodium salts in the soils. Second, carbonate, calcium carbonate and react with the sulfates and create calcium sulfate and calcium and carbonate. And these are the leachable. Both are the that will be resistant to the crops or leachable for the fields in the reclamation of the saline soil. Second is the addition of organic material. Addition of organic material, that means the add organic matter and increase the acidity in the and help with the lowering the pH. That means it decrease the lower of the decrease the pH after the release the acidity from the, in the fields. Then helpful for the sulfuric correct in the alkalinity. And again organic matter is supplied from the food as a bacteria. When what is the work of the bacteria as the decompose the organic matter or the biodegradable products, then add the organic matter and provide the food for the bacteria and stimulate the oxidation of the sulfur and sulfate. These are the completion of sulfur organic matter gypsum has been the more effectively in the soil and the reclamation of the specific type of the condition. Second is the use of the sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid in add in the soil. Sodium in the soil in the sodic nature like a sodium carbonate. The after add the sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid these are the formula sulfuric acid SO4. This is high concentrated. Then add in the soil. The react with them, the release the CO2 and the H2O. The make the sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate, that means replacement of the sodium. This means the in the lignin theory is given by the sodium replacement of the cation by another cation. So H and by N. So replacement of the N H2 NH2 and H2. So the sodium sulfate and H2O. H has the replaced by the O and the O and then H2O and the replaced by the that means the replacement of the cation by the another cation and the release create the soluble in nature. And the second is the molasses. Molasses is the byproduct of the sugar industries and they provide the energy which is for microorganism, and the which one the fermentation of the product of organic acid, and organic acid reduce the alkalinity in the soils. And these are the method of the chemical methods and replacement of the reclamation of the alkali soil, and these are the